Welcome to June 2024. This episode is called The Joy of June. Hi, I'm your host, 3, and this is the Personal Details Podcast. Let's get into it. I called this episode Joy of June because we are closer to the second half of the year. Also, June has some of the longest daylight hours in the northern hemisphere. And conversely, it has the shortest daylight hours in the southern hemisphere. June's birthstone is the pearl, the moonstone, and alexandrite. June is known for many things, including Pride Month, Father's Day, Juneteenth. We will be having a strawberry moon, and also it's time to begin planting and in some cases harvesting. There's a lot of other things to be known in June. June is also Gun Violence Awareness Month, Caribbean Heritage Month, and Immigrant Heritage Month. It's Global Running Day and World Bicycle Day, Native American Citizenship Day, and the Feast of the Most Sacred Heart. So, let's celebrate the things in June, and that is why I said the joy of June. We are halfway there, and sometimes people get anxious, but I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate that we have come halfway through this year. And I'm reflecting on the things that have happened that have been wins. I have not recorded this podcast since the April episode. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so horrible. But in actuality, I wanted to not focus on that and focus on the fact that I was so busy living, I did not have the space carved out for this. I was so busy making sure I took care of me, responded to friends, and I'm celebrating the daylight hours. So here we go with the joy of June. Thank you all for joining me on this brief episode. My podcast is laid out in small segments. First, we start with the affirmation. Then we move into the crystal gem zone. We are going to have a shout out today. We will get into what I call my personal details and my 2 cents. We'll add some music to our Spotify playlist. And then, of course, close out. Within the segments, you'll hear small snippets of how I celebrate those around me and myself for our personal accomplishments. So again, welcome to the Personal Details. I'm your host, 3, and here we go. I am now willing to forgive myself when I stumble. When you're walking down the street and you stumble, do you criticize yourself? Do you keep responding and reminding yourself how horrible it was? How foolish you must have appeared to others watching? Do you stop walking or refuse to move any further? Of course not. You probably gather yourself and your wits, give thanks that you didn't fall flat on your face, and move on. Why then do you force refusing to move on when you stumble in your choices or decisions about your career or relationships? Until today, you may have allowed yourself to believe that human mistakes, the challenges of human life, and the things you have experienced in your humanness are greater than your spirit as a human being. Just for today, forget that. Stumble, fall, crawl, or hitch a ride all the way to the finish line. The affirmation is, I am devoted to relying on the Spirit of life to catch me when I stumble or fall. One more time. Today, I am devoted to relying on the Spirit of life to catch me when I stumble or fall. Thank you. Welcome to the Crystal Gem Zone. And today's crystal gem is Black Jasper, also known as Black Stone. Black Jasper is a highly protective stone that is great for grounding energies, especially if you're experiencing spaciness. It can help in connecting one's variations to the earth. Black Jasper is also useful in relieving pain and helps stomach ailments and foot problems. I'd like to take a moment and also wish a congratulations to all graduates, all folks who have accomplished something. Happy birthday to all of our June babies and our late May babies. Congratulations and happy birthday to new moms, new dads, and congratulations to all the newlyweds in my sphere and circle. And I want to take a moment and also just say thank you for being my friend to my near and dear friends who are near and far. I don't speak to you every day, but that's what adulting is about. We have such a strong bond from years before that it's almost like a bank filled up. And when we need to reconnect and build on that bank, we recharge each other, and that's true great friendships. And at the same time, let's not neglect our friends and make sure to check on our strong friends, because we need love too. Strong folks need love too. We don't often say it, but yeah, there's that. Okay, be right back. Now let's continue with the rest of the show. Welcome to my June 2024 personal details. I have definitely been on a roller coaster of, I guess, contentment, discovery, and balance. So, balance in my work life and personal work life and entrepreneurial life. So, in May, I released, or was it April? Well, in the spring of this year, 2024, I released another journal. It's called One Day at a Time, and it's available on Amazon in 2 different sizes. And this journal flowed so easily in my creative process, and I'm very proud of it. It's literally a journal for everyone. It has a little of everything. It gives you a chance to be a free writer. It gives you a chance to follow the writing prompts. It gives you a chance to reflect. It has some guided information. It has a 28-day challenge. You should check it out. It's a great gift. It's under $20, and as one of my friends told me, it's a bullet journal that should be priced higher. But I've tried to also make it accessible and be under $20. The cost of printing is what is driving this. I make very, 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 very little from each copy sold. And shout out to everyone who has just went along and purchased it without even telling me, or that you've told me after you did it. I am so humbled and blessed for the support that has come to me after supporting so many people over the years. So that's what my That's what my grace has been, to see how people show up when you least expect it. It's always beautiful to see, and I thank everyone very much. So back to June. This June, I think it was last weekend, I celebrated love of one of my sorority sisters, and I was happy to be there to celebrate it and happy to be invited, because I know it's not easy who you invite to your wedding, right? I don't get upset when I'm not invited to a person's wedding, because I feel like they have a choice and I have an obligation. And sometimes destination weddings, I think you should invite a certain group of people, but you can't expect everyone to make the trip, buy the dress, show up, get the hotel, all on their dime in the middle of what might not be a good time in their lives. I think people who sign up for a wedding to be in the wedding party, they know what they're getting into. So I don't feel offended. I am honored when someone invites me. I try to show up and I try to be there to celebrate with them, because I know planning a wedding and planning who to invite to your wedding is a very special but also challenging thing to coordinate. I also had the privilege in April, I think it was April. Time is flying so fast. Or was it May? Well, anyway, I had the honor of also witnessing another one of my sorority sisters earlier in the spring also have a beautiful wedding ceremony, because she is already married. But it was great to see them reaffirm their vows and their children being present and choosing to be surrounded by family and friends. And I was just honored to be one of those family and friends, for, not seeing this person every day and then being invited to them reaffirming their love to the person they love. I feel it's special, and I am honored, and shout out to them if they happen to be listening to this. I've been saying yes to certain opportunities and no to others, and trying to find grace in between the two, hoping that what I'm saying yes to is going to do me good, and hoping that what I'm saying no to is not missed opportunity, and living with my decisions. That's not really easy. That's really kind of hard, because no one is telling you what to do. You're making that decision for yourself, and making your own decisions can be some of the hardest things about being an adult. Choice and repercussions that are nobody's but our own are hard to live with sometimes. But the point is, we're making a decision and not just letting life us. What else has been happening? I've been decluttering around the house. I've sold some yarn. I've gotten rid of some yarn projects that just were not going to get done. So if you don't know, I am a crocheter. I've been crocheting since I was a child. I've been crocheting more as a quote unquote side hustle since I want to say 2010. Yeah. And I am by no means an expert crocheter or crochet designer. I wish very much I had the time to do that. But alas, no. So one of my passions is, of course, crocheting. The other is travel. And I am so grateful that I got to travel at the top of May on a whim. I took some days off because I needed a mental break. Meaning I needed a break where I was not thinking about outcomes. I was not projecting. I was not analyzing, blah, blah, blah. I just needed a work break. And so glad that I took some days off. And I went to the beautiful island of Puerto Rico for just about 4 days. It was the greatest thing. I woke up with the sun. I walked the beach. I'll try to put it on my YouTube channel, some excerpts. I was with nature. I was surrounded by the ocean, and it was gorgeous. Beautiful days, even with the rain. And there's something about being away, and even more when you're surrounded in nature, that just brings your whole blood pressure down. Headache, what headache? You get headache from the sun, but you don't get headache from your thoughts or your environment or the pollution or the noise. So I say that to say, travel. Even if it's a day trip, if you live in New York City or any major city, try to go to another city. Take a day trip, get up early, get on the metro. Don't drive. Either take hire. Don't drive unless you love to drive and it brings you peace. Not control, peace. Peace of mind. You can rent a car, get your own car, and just get away. Even if it's a day, leave early, get some snacks, take a book or your favorite thing to do that's something you don't need another person to do, and just get away and come back refreshed. I think being in groups is great, but I think time spent with self is priceless and needed. And it's definitely refreshing and shows growth that you're okay with self. You're okay with your thoughts to the point where it's not going to drag you too far down a rabbit hole. But travel, change the space. If you can't change your space, clean your space. Put a new fragrance on. Definitely touch nature and refresh. I am definitely grateful to have choice. Not everyone does, and I have to respect that. But I am grateful for what I have. So, yeah, that's my other piece. Now, to health. I am annoyed. I am annoyed with the health system, the lies, the way that the health system is just being really messed up right now, and having to try to support my mom in navigating her medications and prescriptions, medical appointments, medical needs. It's as if, post-pandemic, yes, the health profession and the health industry, or medical profession and medical industry took a hit. We are losing valid, competent, knowledgeable professionals. We're losing, and we have lost. And it's scary to think about that everyone is practicing medicine right now, like literally practicing, and don't have great guides. It's the same thing with the airline industry. The other thing that has left us from the pandemic is we're going to take a pause right here and be right back after this. Are you looking for a therapist, but you just don't know where to start? Are you an individual or an organization looking for healing? I'd like to introduce supporter of the show, Christopher Linlogue at ChristopherLinlogue.com. Christopher is a native New Yorker raised in Brooklyn, and he looks to work with organizations to create mental health friendly workplaces and increase mental health literacy. We hope to have him on the show soon. Called sugar-free. Like, oh. Anyway, let me not go too far. There are things happening with our health, and if you're in my circle of friends or in my age range of 40, 45 plus, you realize folks around you are passing away or having health problems that you're like, wow, are we here yet? Yes, we are. This episode is also brought to you by 3 Made Crochet. Unique, one-of-a-kind handmade items by this Caribbean creative. That's right, if you're looking for something to keep you warm this winter that's one-of-a-kind and bright and colorful, check out 3 Made Crochet on Instagram and Twitter at the number 3 Made It Crochet, or check out her Etsy shop and purchase something really cute. Hashtag spread love the crochet way. The lack of being in good health. I feel like in the food industry, so many corners are being cut. Health practices are just overlooked. Food is a weapon now. And your ability to find good food is like a treasure hunt. I mean, seriously. Every industry has lost great professionals. And it's showing up in society. I'm talking from food and delivery, hotel, customer service, and hospitality industry, and in music is down the drain. It's amazing that we as a society are still growing and evolving, and AI is here, and there's a whole sensitivity now to everything. At one time, we had less sensitivities to anything, and we're in this weird place with the younger generation of being too touchy-feely and the older generation of just get over it. You know what I mean? And where's the happy medium? So the health industry is in that place. Diabetes is on the rise because the food is crap and we can't process it, and there's sugar in everything. There is sugar in spaghetti. There's sugar in everything. Even the things that are so... I'd like you to do me a favor and check out this new resource. It's called ADHD Life, featuring coaching with Jada. The website is coachingwithjada.com, and that is spelled YEARA. So it's coachingwithYEARA.com. She also has a podcast called About ADHD and Other Things, and it's how ADHD impacts our relationships and shapes our life experiences at home, school, and at work. Again, this is Jada, and she is a coach to help and assist young adults, adult coaching, and coaching for moms, for ADHD moms. This is a subject that you may be dealing with, or someone struggling to deal with. So I offer you an opportunity to check out the website and see if it's something for you. Thank you again in advance, and that's ADHD Life, Coaching with Jada, and she can be found at Coaching with Jada, Coaching with YEAR.com. Thanks again. Check out her podcast. One thing that has happened in this lifetime that more than likely folks didn't think would happen was a whole pandemic. And in that time, I'm like, did we learn anything? I still wear my mask. To change the subject, now I'm going to health. Let me take a break and I'll be right back. Coming up with health right after this. Hey, so of course I don't always spend all the time alone. I love having guests. So I'm looking for my next group of guests for the podcast. It's done virtually. We can meet over Zoom for about an hour. To book your time to be a guest, go to www.3madeit.com and send me a message or book a time. I am looking for folks who are passionate about what they're doing or what's going on in the community and would love to promote it. You don't have to have any special equipment. It's as simple as a Zoom conversation. So please do be my podcast guest at the Personal Details Podcast. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye. Our health used to be, and I feel like our doctors used to be doctors. Now doctors are just pharmacists with a medical degree that are prescribing things and not doctoring. Like they're not healing. Let's do that. They are continuing the work of big pharma in a different way. They're getting paid for prescribing things. They're not getting paid for the number of people healed, treated, no longer happening. And it pisses me off that the goal is not to make me better. The goal is to treat my symptoms. That's it. And if people just did a little bit more, they could treat you. They could treat symptoms. That's my spiel on the health industry. Drop a message, drop a thought. I'm going to post this on my Instagram page, The Personal Details. And please do leave a comment when you get to this section. What's your thoughts on the health industry right now? And now it's time for the music segment called Play the Details. So I play some music and then I tell you the artist, and these songs get added to my Spotify playlist and the link will be in the show notes. So let's go. If you said the Jacksons, yes, that is Blame It on the Boogie by the Jacksons.
Yeah, I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh yeah, say I got a woman way over town, good to me. Oh yeah.
And that is Ray Charles, I've Got a Woman.
They give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh yeah.
Good music transcends time. These songs can be heard on my Spotify playlist called Play the Details on Spotify. Thanks for listening, and feel free to recommend a song that I can add to my playlist. Hey, so welcome to my 2 cents. I recently went down a YouTube rabbit hole with the person whose name rhymes with Fluffy, or you can call him Brother Glove, or, by now I hope you know who I'm talking about. But I saw so many. I was reading the comments, not even so much the videos. Various folks are commenting. If you've seen any of the video, you know that there's one particular female artist from the past who is dropping a lot of hot potatoes about the music industry and about Fluffy, to be exact. And about the Black Power couple, and the evil that men do and the rituals and all this other stuff in Hollywood. Let's face it, black or white, this has been a thing for the longest. When things happened with Cosby, when things happened with who else? Oh, well, let's go on the Cosby thing. I just feel like there's a certain point where Hollywood stars, politicians, people in the public eye, you paid a price to get there, whether it was through blood, sweat, and tears, or it was through favors, money, and some other means. Either way, you paid to play, in whatever form that is. And at some point, those people are coming to collect what they paid, what you paid them for, or what they paid you for. And sometimes they want to teach you a lesson and make you a scapegoat. And when people get to a certain level in life, you have to be at a high level to be worth the big scapegoating and tearing you down, or there goes your career. So I say this to say, a lot of things have been happening in Hollywood. People want fame so much they're willing to do anything, and other people know that and they exploit it. It's not right, but it's been happening. For some reason, 2024 is exposing it all. Well, it's not exposing it all. It's bringing more things to the light. And some things feel like a distraction sometimes. Like some things feel a little planted and come up right on time and distract us from laws that are being passed affecting reproductive health or currency. Let's talk about currency and the fact that there is definitely a movement to have no physical currency. And the fact that the US dollar is getting more and more diminished and devalued in big countries across the world. It is also very chilling to think, as a generation, over the last 20 years, there is a generation of youth that have no idea of the history and culture that has come from the 90s to now, from the AIDS epidemic to now. And then the thing about it is, in talking with some of my friends, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it, right? And it's like you see some things going on with young people and you're like, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Like literally, you don't know what you don't know. And I just wonder, in my young self, what are elders that are still living, or icons living, our 90-something-year-olds and the 100-year-olds, how are they feeling as they've watched a century go by? And is it so different, or has nothing changed? Are we still making the same mistakes of the past? April 16th, Dubai experienced almost a week's worth of water, approximately, so I've heard, so I've read on the news. A week's worth of showers of water in about a very short time, in about an hour, it seems. They had a serious flooding in Dubai, in the middle of the desert. Very interesting to me to this day. The other couple weeks ago, I saw a whole cliff, some side of California fall into the water, and it's gone. So climate change is real, man. I don't know who's saying it's not, but I've experienced it since the 80s, where you could tell some of the Caribbean islands were shrinking, like some of it was lost to the sea, and the erosion happened at a more rapid rate than usual. So that's why I'm saying I've seen it start since the 80s. Anyway, do you believe that we're in a climate change? And then, speaking to some people, it's like the end of days. I don't know. I don't want to become a theorist in what is happening, but the earth is definitely undergoing major change, and our ecosystems are trying to deal with the years of chemicals and physical and industrial pollution. Because if you look at it as a living, breathing, functioning thing, it's choking right now. It's having allergies. Let's say that. The earth is having allergies. It's allergic to the things that are coming about, the things that man is creating. Do you have more allergies than usual? Are you getting allergies at different times of the year? Uh-huh. So just think of our earth. It has less green, less shade, more heat, more water. It's just not a great place right now for the earth. And we're moving so fast, we don't give it time to heal. We don't rotate crops properly as in olden days. Do we even use the almanac anymore? These are all conversations I'm having with friends of mine. Are you having these conversations? If you're on Spotify, you're able to respond and send me thoughts. You can also go to Instagram and send me thoughts. And if you know me personally, just send me a message and send me your thoughts. Okay. So that's my little spiel on climate change. I'm about to bounce over to another topic. I can't wait to hear back from you. Be right back. Here we are at the end of another great episode, and I am grateful, thankful, and energized. I hope you are too. You can visit www.3madeit.com, and this is the landing page that will take you to everything else I have been working on. If you have a music selection, please do recommend it. And if you'd love to be a guest, you can sign up at 3madeit.com. Check the show notes for all other links. Shout out to all my supporters in and outside of the US, and to all my friends that continuously listen and share this podcast. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will be in touch soon. Bye.